So one of the joys of this season is that, as Rabbi Lizzie mentioned earlier, we welcomed 18 new Jews into the Jewish people over the past few weeks. The end of almost a year of study and of building the rhythms of a Jewish life and engaging in ritual and Jewish thought. And one of our traditions at Mishkan is to celebrate them tonight, which we will be doing in just a moment. But before we do that, we're going to invite up one of those individuals, Terri, to come up here to share some words of wisdom. One of the joys of being a rabbi in a community for more than a few years is getting to walk with people through multiple milestones. And it was my honor, come on up, to be there at your wedding just a few years ago, and then to see you here today, taking your place among the Jewish people. So I'm very excited to hear your wisdom, your words.
Do I just go now?
You just go now.
Oh.
You just go now.
Okay.
Maybe make sure that we can hear you really well.
Okay.
Like, make sure you are.
And folks can sit down. Yeah.
Okay. Can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Terri Shih, and I am one of the Blueprint conversion students from this year's cohort. I'm here tonight to talk. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm here tonight to talk with you about what this journey has meant to me. And to get us started, I'm going to do the most Terri thing in the world, which is share an extremely personal story, even though I've just met most of you. So you're welcome for that. So about a month ago, I was in my therapist's office and I was weeping, like not a cute cry, but like a full-on sobbing. I just come from another series of blood draws and scans for our infertility diagnosis. I was navigating a new, demanding job where I don't have a support system yet and juggling the logistics of that plus extra doctor's appointments. In the past couple of years, I've also been laid off twice. Thank you to the economy for that. And like so many of you, have watched the world news with horror and disgust, and then been expected to carry on my day like nothing is going wrong. So near the end of our session, I'm still crying, my therapist asks Terri, what's one thing you are doing right now that is just for you? I immediately replied, I'm converting to Judaism. When my therapist asked more, I basically said, well, doctor, it's been really joyful for me. I guess that's why it hasn't come up. I don't usually come in here telling you everything that's going well in my life. I'm sorry about that. And before our session ended, she said, Terri, that joy you feel with Judaism, you should lean into that, especially when things are hard. And so that's what I'm trying to do here tonight. So when people ask me what led me, a Taiwanese American with immigrant parents, to choose Judaism, the truth is there's no one event or reason. I grew up in a town with a large Jewish population, shout out to Lexington, Massachusetts, where my friend's dad was a rabbi. I felt at home celebrating Shabbat, holidays, and B'nai Mitzvahs, and of course, I was always super jealous of everyone's really fun Jewish summer camp stories. Through school and into adulthood, I remained close with Jewish friends from many walks of life, and then in 2021, in the height of pre-vaccine COVID, I fell in love with a Jewish man, my now husband, Jacob. Even from the beginning, he was clear that there was no expectation to convert, just a willingness to learn and be a part of his family's traditions. Over the course of our relationship, I've joined family and friends for holidays, attended weddings, sat Shiva, and welcomed babies, including my beautiful niece back there, at baby namings. What started as a journey to learn more about Judaism for our future children led me to realize it wasn't enough for me to just live in a Jewish household and have Jewish children. I felt connected to the prayers, culture, and rituals in ways that deeply moved me. This week's Parsha, Parshat Re'eh, commands us to center joy in our lives. Specifically on why we celebrate Sukkot, Deuteronomy tells us, and you shall rejoice in your festival, you and your son and your daughter, and your manservant and your maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger and the orphan, and the widow who are inside your gates. 7 days you should hold a festival for God and you will have nothing but joy. In preparing for this speech, I read several interpretations of this that resonated with me. Rabbi Danya Ruttenberg says that while the passage often gets translated as be joyful, another interpretation is to rejoice, which is a much more intentional and active action. And the instructions are actually right there. It's pretty clear. First, you should gather your son, daughter, anyone inside your gates, or what I interpret as your community. Rabbi Lizzie actually shared with me while the language today of son and daughter and maid and manservant might feel very binary and exclusionary, in the context of Torah, it's unusually inclusive by going out of its way to include both son and daughter, man and maidservant. Therefore, we can understand this passage as asking us more broadly to include everyone we love. Second, we should pay special attention to include widow, orphan, or stranger, what I interpret as anyone needing extra support or who is particularly vulnerable. And third, rejoice. We should rejoice in our festival and find ways to celebrate with them. So in sum, this parsha is asking us to be in community, reach out to those in need, and to find the strength it can take to choose festival and life, even amid hardship. When I think back on this past year, every 2 weeks, my amazing cohort of fellow students made the time to be in community with each other. Amid work schedules, medical appointments, family hardships, studying, and the general chaos of life, we made Judaism and being in Jewish community our priority. And in doing so, we have built special bonds that will extend far beyond our classes ending. For me personally, having our classes every 2 weeks to look forward to kept me centered and fulfilled even amid a really, really difficult year. In the above passage, so we're told in the above passage, who should we include in these celebrations? But what if you're the widow or the orphan in this situation? I'll admit, when I first read this passage, I remember asking myself, how can the Torah command someone who is navigating such hardship to feel something like joy? Rabbi Melanie Levav offers this interpretation, namely that the passage doesn't explicitly command the widow or orphan to rejoice, but rather that the community around the widow and the orphan are responsible for rejoicing and supporting them while they cannot. I've seen my blueprint class, my beautiful blueprint class, live these values in real life. Whether it's offering to deliver gluten-free meals when family members are in the hospital, to job hunting support post-layoffs, and kind words and funny memes when someone is having a rough time. This year has shown me the power of just showing up and being there in whatever capacity you can be. When I reflect on this Torah passage, and more broadly on what I've learned this year, one of my biggest takeaways is that joy isn't just about having fun, although it can be that too. Joy is something much more profound, spiritual, and disciplined, and it requires us to be willing to be vulnerable and honest with ourselves and with those around us. This conversion experience has challenged me in new ways to push beyond the surface in first reading, to grapple with uncertainty, and to understand the world around me more deeply. To give an example, when I first read this passage, I read it at a surface level, commanding the widow and the orphan to rejoice. So as someone who struggles a lot with anxiety and depression, I remember my knee-jerk reaction was anger. And when I introspected on why, it's because based on my surface reading, it reminded me of times when well-meaning people have said, have you just tried being happy, or maybe be a little less anxious when I've shared my mental health struggles. That doesn't work, by the way. However, upon reading this passage more closely and in discussing with Rabbi Lizzie, I was moved by these words by Rabbi Alan Liu. When we speak of joy here, we are not speaking of fun. Joy is a deep release of the soul, and it includes death and pain. Joy is any feeling fully felt, any experience we give our whole being to. We are conditioned to choose pleasure and to reject pain, but the truth is, any moment of our life fully inhabited, any feeling fully felt, and any immersion in the full depth of life can be a source of deep joy. So, with these words in mind, and as I draw to a close here, here's what I wish for everyone, well, not in this room, in this plaza. May we wake up each morning and live our lives according to our values. May we find community in loved ones who encourage us to be our whole beings. And may we find joy by experiencing head-on the full spectrum of what life can offer us. May we keep supporting the vulnerable and showing up for each other. I don't have to detail all the pain and darkness around us or tell anyone that we are more divided than ever. May we do the truly difficult thing of leaning into that discomfort and trying to find our shared humanity in a world that would prefer us divided. May we watch K-pop Demon Hunters at least once, but honestly, ideally multiple times. And when you do, please let me know, because I am dying to talk to you about it and how it is a beautiful blend of Asian Jewish culture that I am both excited to be a part of and help build. No spoilies, because I don't think most of you have watched it, but this movie's got the pains of assimilation, not hiding who you are, seeing beauty in the broken glass, a killer soundtrack. It has it all. And to my conversion cohort, may we find meaning as we build Jewish lives and practices. I know personally I am already struggling with imposter syndrome, but may we remind ourselves in these moments of doubt that we're doing enough just by choosing to practice Judaism. And may you all remind me of these words when I am inevitably too hard on myself and forget them. I would like to end tonight with a moment of gratitude to my wonderful conversion cohort and to Rabbis Stephen and Lizzie, my mentor Avery, my friend Sleal, who helped me pick my Hebrew name, and of course my husband and in-laws, family, and friends who have supported me throughout this year. Thank you. I've learned so much from all of you, and I am a more joyful person because of it. I wish everyone here a beautiful Shabbat, high holiday season, and rest of your evening. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.